This is the best disc in disc golf for beginners. Let's get into it. Okay, so if you're just starting in disc golf, it can be very overwhelming trying to decide which disc to select for your first disc, since there's so many different manufacturers and discs to choose from. So I'm here to help you guys out and tell you that I think the Discraft Soul is the best disc for anyone just getting into disc golf. And I think that for a couple different reasons. One of them is that you can throw this disc for both backhands and forehand shots and even putt with it. So, in disc golf, you really only need one disc to go out to a course, play around, have a good time. And I think the versatility that the Soul has in that area makes it such of a good choice. Another reason is that it is a slow, understable flying disc. If you're just starting out, you probably don't have a super fast arm speed quite yet. And so if you go pick like a high-speed distance driver like a Nuke or Force or something, it's not gonna really have the intended flight quite yet. So you're a lot better off picking something slow and understable like a Soul that you can actually get closer to the intended flight out of. And you'll see in a second when I throw at different speeds how it flies. But another reason that kind of ties into that is that a slower, understable flying disc like the Soul will kind of show you what you're doing incorrectly with your technique. It's gonna really teach you that you need to have a nice clean release and how to kind of control the angles. So the Soul is perfect in all those areas, and I think that's why it's my favorite disc to recommend to anybody just starting into disc golf. But with all that being said, let's see how it flies. I'm going to throw some different speeds, maybe throw some forehands, and show you guys the flight of the Soul and why everything I just talked about makes it the best disc for beginners in disc golf. Let's do it. So first of all, I'm going to throw it nice and slow and controlled and see how it flies at that speed. So as you can see, even when it's nice and controlled and slow, it still had a nice forward push to it. Now if I throw a Nuke instead at that same speed, and this is a super high speed distance driver, I guess you'll see how it flies comparatively, and then also why I think the Soul is such of a better choice for beginners. So as you can see, I just wanted to go left and down right away since it's so high speed and overstable. It doesn't really have enough glide at that speed to push straight like the Soul did. And the Soul actually ended up going further anyway, so it's definitely a better choice for beginners. Now let's kick it up in speed and see how it flies with a little bit more power behind it. So as you can see, with a little bit more speed, it had a nice flip up and turnover and then understable, glidey, super glidey flight to it. So it's gonna be really good for, honestly, a lot of players. Even if you have a little bit more arm speed, it's gonna be really good for those technical wood shots or anything where you want to have that turnover flight to it. Now for fun, let's rip one and see how it handles my pro arm speed and yeah, see if it holds up. It kind of held up. Obviously, we're not going to be throwing it that fast most of the time, but it's still usable even at that speed, which I think is saying a lot. Now let's throw some forehands with it and see how it flies for that rotation. Let's throw it nice and soft like before and see how it flies at that speed. Just a nice, slow turning, straight pushing flight. And the nice thing too, since this is such a slow disc, it really teaches you to make sure that you have a lot of spin in the forehand, which is really key going forward. That's the way the technique needs to be, so it helps you kind of improve in that way. So let's add some more speed, see how it holds up. Yeah, so as you can see, it's kind of like the backhand. It has a nice tone to it with that understable flight. And since it is such of a slow disc, like I said, it really forces you to make sure you put a lot of spin into it, which is the right technique for a forehand. So for all of those reasons and the way the disc actually flies, I think the Discraft Soul is the best disc for anyone just getting into the game, and a really great disc for anyone who's already in the game and wants a nice flip-up, controllable, kind of woods technical disc. It's really good for that as well. So if you guys want to pick one up, go to otvdisc.com, use code Ezra for free shipping, or discraft.com or a local shop, they probably have them too. Or if you guys want to get this exact stamp, which it actually helps support me specifically, you can go to teamdiscraft.com and then click on my name and check one out. So thank you guys for watching, and if you're just getting into disc golf, welcome to the sport, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.